What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Cam back. Another video today. Today I'm about to give you guys some free games, so stick along. Alright y'all, so I run the most hated business in today's world, and here's why it is not what you think it is. This business model has made me a ton of money and has allowed me to travel to places that I would never have been able to afford without starting this business, and it has put me in a lot of positions that I am forever grateful. And I know for those of you who actually like follow me on social media and see me doing all this cool shit all the time, this is why. So stay with me for a couple minutes and I might be able to change your mind on why you should not hate on this business model. All right, y'all, so OnlyFans management, that's me, Cam Pick, the OnlyFans manager. But yeah, people call this business model unethical, people call it a scam, people call it an online pimp. That's like the biggest thing, is being called an online pimp, being compared to Jack Doherty. No offense, Jack, but that's what people tend to do. But it's not that. There's so much more that goes into this business model that like the normal average person would not think of until you start the business and run into the problems. Because I am that normal, average, regular person. I'm a NARP. I don't play a sport anymore, and I literally just do this full time. And yeah, but I'm your normal, average, regular person that is able to make a lot of money online, managing these OnlyFans models and making them more money and keeping them happy, and yeah. But let's get into it. Enough yapping. All right, so the biggest, most asked question, if anybody were to ask me in the public, say I went to the grocery store, somebody asked me what I did for a living, they see a car pull up in, I tell them OnlyFans management. The biggest and most asked question that I get is, how did you get into that? So I guess I'm going to be explaining a little bit how I got into that. Moral of the story is that those of you guys who know me, you know I do exotic car rental as well. And the exotic car rental, you meet a lot of people that do a lot of cool things because they're spending a lot of money on a 24-hour rental for a band. Like, bro. So you got to have a little bit of money if you rent the cars. So I met this guy who I no longer talk to, the kid. I hate the kid. Honestly, this is about to piss me off, but yeah, if I ever see that kid, it's on site with him. But yeah, so I met somebody who does OnlyFans management, and he had a lot of money. So I was just like damn, bro, what do you do, you know? So I networked my way into the business, and I became friends with this guy, and this guy taught me a lot of things. And then from there on out, I got my foot in the door, and then I just kind of learned from my losses. So I fucked up a lot in this business model. If I would have just paid somebody that knew what they were doing or something, got a mentor, or I don't even know, just knew somebody else that knew a little bit more and gave a little bit more game, it would have made me to where I'm at right now a lot quicker instead of wasting a lot of time. But there's a lot of trial and error that goes into this business. There's a lot of things that you have to purchase for this business to make it, your back-end systems scale the way they should be, if that makes sense. I don't want to say that to scare you, to make you think you need a whole bunch of capital to build a good OnlyFans agency, because you don't. You could start this business model with no money, which is kind of what I did, because in the time I was making a little bit of money doing the car rentals, and then I met this kid. Obviously I saw he had hella money, so I was like, bro, I'm doing whatever this guy does. And I think my first month doing it, I made like 2K, and I was like, damn, this is 2K off of one model. And I was like, damn, I really just got my first model in the first month. And the next month I made 6K off just one model, bro. So you could do the math. If you're making 6K off of many different models, you're making well over 6 figures a year, which is way better than working a 9 to 5. So if you're working a 9 to 5, quit that shit and start an OnlyFans agency and DM me, because I'll help you. A little bit more about my background is that I used to do social media when I was in high school. A lot of people know me as the TikTok faggot. That's me. So I knew a lot of girls when I did TikTok. So now that brings me to my following on TikTok and Instagram. I have a lot of females that follow me. So I have a girl niche instead of a boy niche, which is bad for where I'm at now, but it was good to start my OnlyFans agency. So I had a lot of girls that followed me, and I've been going through like my followers, looking like to see like, okay, this person might have an OnlyFans. I click on it, and I actually found a couple back when I first started that had an OnlyFans, and it looked like they might have needed a little bit more help, whether that was just from like the social media aspect, or I clicked on their link and saw their OnlyFans that just didn't look like professional, and it looked like there could be a lot more room to improve, if that makes sense. That is like the #1 way to finding a good model, is they already have an established account, and then from there on you could just scale it to make more money. It's way easier than starting a girl from zero, but we are actually doing that, which will be another video that I'm about to drop. We're gonna bring a girl from 0 to 100K a month with no social media. So basically, I mean, I just saw like an opportunity from people that I already knew and had like a little bit of a relationship with to make a little bit of money for them and myself, obviously, because we do 50-50 splits depending on the creator. If you are going to reach out to a girl with like 1 million followers, she's not going to give you 50% for something that you did not build from the start, you know? So keep that in mind. 20% of $100,000 a month is a lot of money, so you don't have to take 50-50 from every model. It'll also help you get more models if you lower your percentage a little bit, but you gotta understand your worth. Next part, now that you guys kind of know a little bit about me and how I got into this, what is the business really? Like, how does this business really run, and what makes this an actual business instead of just an online pimp? So what is OnlyFans management? How does it work? So we find a creator, we sign her to our agency, and then we build their personal brand, get them a lot of more followers, get them more looks, more people that are gonna click on their link to eventually spend more money on the creator. Yeah, so we get them signed, we give them a content strategy, we put chatters on the account. For those of you guys who don't know what chatters are, chatters is somebody, we use people from overseas. They're on the account 24 hours a day, typing with people who are supporting them. So like with their big spenders, small spenders, whatever it is, our chatting team is trained to make the most money out of each sub. So whether that's like scripts, strategies, but what a lot of people don't realize, like other agencies don't realize, is that you have to build a good relationship with the sub. So the better the relationship is with the sub, the more money you're gonna get out of them, if that makes sense. That's where you find whales. Whales are people who spend a lot of money on OnlyFans. But yeah, you gotta build a relationship. You can't just like, hey, like, can you give me a tip? No, like, you gotta build a relationship, give them that boyfriend or girlfriend experience, and then the people want to spend way more money. But that's something we'll get into a different video. So we put chatters, we build a personal brand by, let's say, scripts on Instagram is like a video. You've seen those corny videos of an OnlyFans model like saying something out of pocket that correlates to OnlyFans a little bit. That's probably one of our creators. So there you go. Take a note. If you see that, it's probably your boy. We post stuff for them, whether it's Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok. Those are like the 4 main, and Instagram threads. So those are like the 5 main platforms that we use to promote our models, whether that's different strategies for everything. You gotta work with the algorithm. So the algorithm is what makes your content get more views to get more people. That's the name of the game, is just marketing, you know? So you gotta like, think of it as like, if you could get your video to see 100 people and 1 person subscribes, that 1 person is gonna spend a little bit of money, especially if you have a VIP account. VIP account's a paid account. I feel like I'm talking really fast, but like, I don't know, it's just how I do when I'm talking about business, you know? But yeah, so you just gotta think, if you put your video in front of 100 people, 1 person's gonna subscribe at least, you know? So imagine that video gets 10,000 views, you're gonna get 100 subs. 100 subs is gonna turn into like at least $1,000, you know, if you're doing it the right way. You just gotta set up your SOPs. Yeah, so that's the moral of OnlyFans management, is putting a chatter on the account, marketing the creator, and making more money for them, and taking the workload off the creator, but making them more money, obviously. So if you do everything correctly, the creator should do less work, make more money, and all she should have to do is provide content. All right, let's get into the next part of the video. The next part is the hate that comes with OnlyFans. What a lot of people don't understand is that we're not being digital pimps, we're not being an online pimp. Like, it's just, the people who are doing the OnlyFans want to make money online. They want to do OnlyFans, and they're already doing OnlyFans, and they want to make more money. That's why an agency comes in to help. For example, I have an agency that works with my Instagram a little bit. One of my boys, he helps me out. He makes a lot of like videos for me and stuff like that. He takes a lot of the workload off my hands, if that makes sense. So it's not something that OnlyFans managers and OnlyFans agencies should get hate on, I don't think. It's better than selling, like, let's say you do e-com, you're selling a product from China for more money in the US. I think we could hate on that too. Crypto, we could say crypto's gambling. I feel like crypto gets a little bit of hate. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather be an OnlyFans manager than a landscaper, so. And kind of how I like deal with the hate a little bit myself is like, you just gotta think you're making more money than most people, you know? But also you gotta also think that like you're helping a creator that was in need for help. Like it's almost to the point where like making the money is cool. Like, yeah, like you do take a percentage and everything, but like the feeling that you get to help somebody and like make people like more money and take a lot like less stress off somebody's hands. Like they're like some of our models, like literally all of our models are so thankful to be a part of our agency. Like we get thank yous all the time, which is a really good feeling. For example, I have a model, her name is Lexi. Lexi, if you're watching this, hello. No, but Lexi was not in the best situation about 6 months ago. And Lexi was in not a good spot. She broke up with her boyfriend. She was in an abusive relationship with her boyfriend. And before I post this, I'm gonna ask Lexi if it's okay if I post this. But yeah, she was in a bad relationship. Her boyfriend was using all her money. He spent all her money, and she like DM'd me. She knew I did OnlyFans management. She was just like Cam, like I need help. Like can you please help me with OnlyFans? And I was like, sure. Sure enough, she was making like, I wanna say $700 a month. $700 a month before she came to us. She came to me the next month. She went from $700 to $16,000. And for those of you who can imagine, now she could pay her rent. Now she could help her mom out. Now she could pay her car payment. She could pay all her bills without stressing. And literally all she did was provide content, and she did the custom videos when we asked, which was a huge help because she made so much money from the customs, which is like a big thing. Customs is like, obviously like fans want to see certain things or have the creator do certain things, which they have to pay top dollar for. But yeah, so she was in a bad spot, and now she's in a great spot. She just bought her first apartment by herself with nobody's help, and she's just overall just way happier with where she's at right now, and she's still killing it. She went a little bit down last month because she was moving into her apartment. She didn't have enough time to do everything that we were asking her, but she's made a lot of money, and she put her money in the right spots. We did a lot of like helping her with like the investment side of things, so she's just in a lot better position than she was 6 months ago. I could pull it up right here so you guys know I'm not bullshitting you. All right, y'all. This is prime fucking example. All right, y'all. Prime example I'm about to show y'all. I don't want to give up too much information. So this was her. $700, $714 a month, $728 a month. This is the month that she texted me, hey Cam, can you please help me? $728. Next month she made $19,000, and then $16,000, and then $16,000. And you get the point. So she's pretty much set. She's on track to make $200K this year, so she's balling. She's gonna get a nice ass car soon. You get the point. We're not lying out here, you know? So there's your proof. Yeah, and we take 50% of her, so our agency made $9,000 something that month just off one creator. So I think that's like the best thing about like OnlyFans management, to be honest, is just the ability to being able to help somebody who's in need of help. Because I don't know how to say this, but like I think a lot of OnlyFans creators are in need of help, which is why they're on OnlyFans. So it's just a good feeling putting somebody in a better position. Next topic, what lessons have I learned, or what was the biggest lessons that I've learned throughout my OnlyFans management career? I'd say the biggest thing is that you have to keep relationships and work separate. You can't have you can't be dating a girl in your agency. It just doesn't work, you know? There's just certain things that don't go together in the industry, and I think I feel like a lot of people think that OnlyFans management is just the easiest money. Yes, it's easy money, but yes, it takes a lot of different skills, bro. Like you gotta have if you want an actual agency, you gotta have a pretty good team that has people that specialize in each subject, whether that's recruitment, whether that's just being like a manager in the business, for something like communication manager, which is big because the communication has to be on point with these models, bro. Everybody who I talk to who's in a different agency is like, yeah, they don't talk, they don't communicate, which is why Cam swoops in and just finesses your girl out of your agency. So it happens a lot. No, I'm just playing. It doesn't happen that much, but yeah. So communication has to be on point, bro. And I think the biggest problem is, like, when you have all these girls that are working in your agency, girls have a lot of problems. Girls are a little bit emotional. So you have to be able to handle being a therapist, being a boyfriend, being a manager, just everything. You know, you gotta create a good balance from work, friendship, and these females. If that makes sense. I think it kind of sounded dumb when I said it, but we're gonna run with it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all. I think I'm gonna get this side of my arm finished soon when I figure out what I want. I was looking online yesterday, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I'm gonna be posting a lot more content on my Instagram, Camden Pick with 3 Ks at the end. I'll pop it up on the screen. But yeah, I'm gonna be pushing out a lot more content. I'm gonna try to do like more like talking style stuff to help you guys and post more free game on my TikTok and on my Instagram and here. So I'm gonna do a lot more videos like this too if you guys fuck with this. So make sure you guys leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching this, and I hope you guys could take something from this and eventually build your own agency. So we could all make money together. That would be pretty sick. But yeah, thanks y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.